As if making it day to day is not enough through the concrete jungles, we move cautiously.
Hey y'all, hey, and welcome. If you like what it is that you see, like, comment, and subscribe. You can follow Visionary Price, the amazing visionary behind all of this, and follow myself at Miss We Care. We got more content coming, guys.
As if making it day to day is not enough through the concrete jungles, we move cautiously. The elder youth attempting to twist our God-given fate. You can see the despair of failure throughout the wrinkles and the frown lines in our face. We're lost in a world of hate. Dealing in the wild while partnering with venomous reptiles that consider themselves businessmen and friends, but they're nothing more than spineless snakes. And if you listen closely, you can hear the rattlers.
What's up, visionaries? I am Visionary Price. We are at the Visionary Place. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. That's the only way we're going to be able to keep this going. This one is for the visionaries. Everybody go through things and looking for a way out. This your way out. So tap in for sure. This for us. Let's go, visionaries. What's up, y'all? Visionary Price. As y'all can see, we're at Visionaries Place. Once again, out in nature. It's so beautiful. Look, we got an OG of the game today. OG of the poet game, you feel me? And we really want to highlight his story because it's one that's unique, one that's, you know, a veteran in the game. So I'm done with the talk and I want him to introduce himself.
Absolutely. I am the voice, Mr. Reality, aka Greg Delaney, the founder of the Deadly Pens and so much more. Glad to be here, my guy. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you for coming.
Absolutely.
I asked you to be out in nature. I know that, you know, you're probably not used to it so much.
I'm from Denver, brother. I'm good with the nature.
Oh, okay.
I ain't got no problem with the shit. I'm good with it.
Denver, Colorado.
Yeah, man. Born and raised.
You know, I always say to get to really know somebody, you know, I see the person you are now, you know what I'm saying? Probably 20 years plus in poetry game. But before it was ever that, it was a story. Like, who are you? Where you come from?
Man, well, that's it. You know, I mean, born and raised Denver, Colorado. I was a young cat who just always believed that I was supposed to be doing something more than what I was doing. Mm-hmm. You know, I came up in the NWA era, so we did what we felt was cool at the time. But knew that there was more than what was going on, man. So I stayed in alignment, kept trying to find my voice, and at some point, you know, I found in this poetry thing years later, not knowing that I was a poet. You know,
You know, most people dive into rap because that's what we see. You say you in the NWA era, so yeah. What was that like?
Well, so the thing about it was, man, is that the NWA era was gang banging, and you know that's what it was to be cool. If people feared you, you was cool. So you wanted to be cool, that's what you did. I was blessed enough to be in a position, man, to where, you know, I made it out. I didn't actually have to go through all the hell. Went through a lot of hell. I got a hell of a testimony, but I went through a lot of the hell. But for me, rapping wasn't what everybody did rap. You know, I ain't never wanted to be that person to fit in, so everybody rapped. I wanted to do something different. And to be perfectly honest, man, you know, I wasn't even really trying to get on the stage. It was really about just trying to write down what I was feeling because I didn't really have a group of support to express that to. So I would just write it down. And, you know, it just so happened to be one of the cats that I was in the, you know, in affiliated with, seen something written down one time and said, hey, man, that's dope poetry. And I was like, nigga, what is you talking about?
Yeah.
He's like, that's poetry. You know what I mean? But yeah, that kind of opened the doors. But you know, when you was young, you always used to write poems to the girls.
That's how it started.
All right, okay, I just want to make sure I wasn't the only one, yeah.
No, trust me, that's how it started.
Absolutely.
Now you definitely said a mouthful, you know what I'm saying, and I want to break some of that down.
Absolutely.
Most people don't even know how Denver is, you feel me? And it is a place where it is bad, you know what I'm saying? A lot of crime and most people go into rap because that's what everybody doing, and you decided to do something totally different, which is poetry, and it's not highlighted in our community, you know what I'm saying? So my question is, like, why poetry though?
So once again, you know, it wasn't even really about me trying to get into poetry. It was about me trying to find a way to express myself and not having an outlet, and not wanting to be the rapper. Because to be perfectly honest, most of the rappers was lying about the things they did, you know. And I wasn't one of those people who was ashamed of what I was doing or how I was moving. So I would just tell my truth. And the thing about it was, I wasn't really trying to express it to nobody. I was just putting it on paper until somebody seen it and was like, "Hey, can you do this?" You know, I had wrote a poem to a girl. And her mom had a book signing, and she asked me to read the poem at her mom's book signing. And when I did that, then it changed, you know. But as far as like really getting into the game, you know, Denver is wild. You know, and a lot of people didn't understand Denver didn't have an identity. So you had folks who was from Denver acting like they was from Cali. You had folks from Denver who was acting like they was from the East Coast. Folks from Denver who was acting like they was from Chicago. And we was just out there doing everything that we wanted to. We was mimicking seeing on TV, not realizing that maybe it wasn't that bad in Cali. You know, we was out there gang banging and really shooting over colors when they was shooting over territory and drug space. We thought it was all about the colors, so that's what we did. You know, when it came to the Chicago type stuff, you know, I grew up GD. So when we was thinking about laws and family and things like that, like we was really out here fighting for people that 9 times out of 10 today we probably smacked. You know, but it was about the loyalty because that's what we thought that's what the culture was. So, you know, I mean, it was a little different, but Denver, you know, found its identity eventually, but we was always with it.
You know, I think what everything you said reminds me of Who Cloned Tyrone. Did you ever see that movie?
Yeah.
It's like, that's not who you really are. You know what I'm saying? The society, I don't know what it is, got a good way of pushing its own agendas at us.
Absolutely. Well, you know what it is, man, is that you want to fit in. You know, when you're a young man and even young woman, you know, in this situation, you want to fit in. You want to find things that make you acceptable to others, so you do what others do. And it just so happened to be that at the time that was the culture. You know, you think about it, the era before that was sports. You know, if you was a jock and you was doing your thing, then that's what you did. You played sports, and that made you cool. So, you know, a lot of us was just going through the process of trying to fit in and trying to find a way to be accepted, and that was what we did. Bad part about it is some of us got into it and got wrapped up so far that once we figured out it wasn't the right way, you was already too far gone.
They call it the trap.
Come on now, for a reason.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
so for somebody watching, right, that don't know themselves, how do you find yourself?
Well, the thing about it is that you know yourself. It's about accepting who you are. And it's not even about, you know, having to find, because you can't lose who you are. You can't lose something that's always with you. What it is about sitting still and accepting what you are. And maybe you're not the meanest, baddest person that you ever been, but is that your calling? You know, and it's okay. It's really about self-acceptance, man. One of the things that you'll learn about me, and the reason I got the name Reality, I didn't name myself, but because I'm okay with who I am. I'm comfortable in my skin, I'm real. And I'm real honest with me, I'm real honest with those around me. So, you know, you don't have to find what's not lost. You just have to accept what is. And once you find that you accept yourself, then you can move within your power. And that's the problem with a lot of people. They don't even know their power, so they don't move in it. And they're trying to be something that they're not, but at the same time, you already are.
Facing that reality is hard, though. You know what I'm saying? Have you always been that person, though?
Absolutely.
It was never like no finding purpose moment, nothing?
Nah, brother. I literally was the logical one. I was the thinker. I've always been, you know, don't get me wrong, I had my times where I didn't think, and I would go back and have to deal with that. But, you know, I've always been this one. You know what I mean? I've always been the one who see the glass as half full instead of half empty. You know, there's always a reason for everything that happens, and it can't just be this. You know what I mean? Me meeting you, me being here, that sound at this time, it was for a reason. Ain't nothing by accident.
That's a fact.
So find that purpose.
I can relate to that a lot. You know, with my personal story, I'm the youngest of my family. So I watched all my brothers do the dumb stuff, go to jail, get shot, you know what I'm saying, beat people up. I didn't seen all that, but I seen the consequences as well. One of my brothers did 15 years in federal penitentiary. He looked me right in my eyes, him and my daddy. My daddy got shot, been in jail. He looked me right in my eyes, was like, you'll be a damn fool if you follow my footsteps. You didn't see what can happen. You know what I'm saying? So just being that thinker, being that optimistic person, like, okay, I seen with this path, but I haven't seen this path. What is gonna take me?
Yeah, and be perfectly honest, man, some people find it easier to go down the path that they know the answer to as compared to the one that they don't.
Come on, man. We so comfortable.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's about being in comfort, because moving outside of what you know will require faith. It will require you to believe in something that is yet to be seen, and a lot of people just rather know. Even if it's bad, they rather know. You know, it takes a strong person to actually stand up every day and be exactly who you are.
Right, and society don't really like a person like that. You know what I'm saying? For real, like we say, who cloned Tyrone? They want the same person every time.
So
we're gonna do something different.
I disagree.
Oh, what's up? Come on, yeah.
I believe the successful people in society are the ones who don't care what they like, they just give it to them. Because the truth about it is, if you look at and this is my theory, right? You look at the most famous rappers in the game right now, Jay-Z and, you know, Lil Wayne and things to that name. One of the things that's really authentic about who they are is that they have an individual personality. Their voice is distinctive. Their perspective is distinctive. You know, you have a lot of people who make it and they rise to the top after cloning them, but they don't stay. They're not the ones who paved the way. So
See,
I believe that you stand out, man.
Nah, that's true, but I got a different way to look at it, you know what I'm saying? Because Jay-Z and the people that we see high above, you feel me? A lot of people follow them, they follow in their footsteps because it's sought after. It's what's popping. It is the culture. You right though. To be your own person, you gotta do your own thing, but you don't see that as a little kid growing up. You see Jay-Z, he balling, he got this, I want that too. I'm finna be what he was.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think it's
But see, my perspective of that was, I see Jay-Z and what he did, what made him different.
that's hard.
And how could I stand out? What made him different? You know what I mean? How do I do that?
I did some research.
All right.
You feel me? And I think a lot of things were surprising about you. Not only have you been doing this a long time, but you was able to rub elbows with some of the most prestigious people like Snoop Dogg and things like that.
Absolutely.
Can you talk about like how even that started? Like how you started being around celebrities and stuff?
So man, one of the greatest things about life and what you know young cats don't understand is that you never start, you know, you never finish where you start. Right. So I walked into a poetry venue as somebody just trying to stay away from the drama type shit, ended up hosting a poetry venue. I was hosting a poetry venue, somebody seen me, wanted me to actually work for their video show. I ended up working for the video show. They seen what I did with the video show, they wanted me to interview artists that came out of the concert scene. And that's how I got there. You know what I mean? And what ended up happening, honestly, man, is that I was moving just in what I was comfortable doing to the point to where people started recognizing it. I started managing a DJ out of California, and the way that came about is because I was booking DJs for my poetry venue. I always booked a DJ. So it got to the point to where the DJs was like, hey, I don't want to have that conversation with him. You tell him. You know what I charge. You know what I mean? You know what needs to be done. You tell him. So I started having that conversation. I was booking the DJs and met a DJ, man, who happened to be bigger than I knew at the time. He was one of the biggest DJs in Hollywood who just so happened to get a gig in Denver on a regular basis.
Wow.
I would show up, pick him up, and then, you know, do what we did. It ended up happening, man, that this guy was the DJ to the stars. He would start bringing them through for the club events, but who had to pick him up? I was with him. I was picking him up, so, you know, then it put me in a whole different realm where I was rubbing shoulders with a lot of money, man. And you know what it means when you rub shoulders with a lot of money, right? Or you shake hands with a lot of money. You know what it
What's
means,
up?
right? You got dirty hands, my nigga. That's all it means.
I thought you was gonna say something else.
Yeah, no, ain't nothing profound about that. Yeah, no, they money don't make you shit. But what it is that as long as you authentic around them people, then they always remember you for who you are. So when you cross paths with them, and again, you know, they never really remembered my name, but they be like, Denver? Yeah.
You know, cause I read a lot about the law of attraction and things like that. So I be thinking, just because you're around celebrities, you know, you kind of gonna make some money just being around that group. Is that not true? Because
no, it's not true. Because if you're a bum, you're gonna be a bum no matter where you at. You know, if you're a hustler, you're gonna get money no matter where you stand. The thing about it is that you could be inspired by those people, but if you're not the kind of person that moves through inspiration, then it's not gonna change nothing. You know, it's great seeing other people with money and things of that nature. It gives you a different visual, but if you're blind to who you are, you're not gonna catch that. You know, being around money, if you're a money maker, yeah, that opens doors.
yes, sir.
But being around money and being a bum just means that you're a bummy person with
A bummer around people.
some expensive friends, you know?
No, I got you. So it's really just no different.
It's you. You know, everything depends on you. Can't nobody make you better. And can't nobody close the door for you that's meant for you, and can't nobody open a door for you that ain't meant.
Gotcha.
You know, and it don't matter where you at. There's opportunities that come and go, but if you don't know if you're not willing to do it, you ain't gonna walk through them. You'll never see them. You know, so it's really about just you, man.
So I like how you started from poetry, and then you started doing the events, and then you started doing the radio, and then you know what I'm saying? It was a gradual, like, journey.
Yeah, and never left poetry the whole time.
It's all rooted from there.
Yeah,
Even
that was my voice.
yeah.
And what would happen, man, and for me, is that when I would go through things and I couldn't deal with them, or I didn't know how to express them, I could write them down. But I realized that once I said them out loud and let them go, those problems became that peace. It was no longer my problem, that issue. When I think about it, I think about the performance of it. I think about the poetry of it. I don't think about the problem. So then it became my therapy. And that's how I used a lot of it. And I seen people doing the same, and it was just like, how do I present a stage so everybody could kind of heal the way that I heal, you know?
Yeah, we talk about healing and stuff like that. Have you ever made a piece or said a piece, performed a piece, and when people literally like came up to you like, look, that really helped me?
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's the reason that I kept doing it. Man, I didn't go to college, you know? And one of the things was is that I would hit these pieces and people would come to the stage and they would say, you know, first of all, where did you go to school for this? You know, man, you're so dope. Or the best thing was somebody coming to me and telling me that I saved their life. Because they came to the poetry venue getting ready to go home that night and kill themselves because they had so much going on in their mind.
Wow.
And they felt so compelled by the poetry that they wanted to get up there and express what they were feeling, and I encouraged them to come back. And they said, I can't kill myself tonight because I got to come back next week. You know, and that's ended up being one of the Deadly Pens, which is the organization that I have, one of the dopest Deadly Pens I have. She literally came back and said, you never knew that you saved my life. I literally was going to kill myself that night, but I decided I couldn't because I had to come back to read this piece.
So we talk about the deadliest pens. For people that may not know what that is, you know, I know you say it's a group, a poetry group, or like what is it exactly?
The Deadly Pens is a conglomerate of some of the dopest poets from around the world, actually the dopest poets from around the world, who do this for a living or do it for a passion. But the thing about it is that they're all authentically amazing in what they do, whether they give back, whether they build communities, and a lot of them do because they have this gift. But they're the dopest poets, and the Deadly Pen is really just an acknowledgement that you are one of the best who do it, and your peers recognize you as that. So we've given out Deadly Pens to say that you do this and you're great at it, and because you're great at it, we want to acknowledge you. And now you have over 70 Deadly Pens around the world, international as well, who acknowledge you for being great at what you're doing, no matter where you go in the city. If you tell them you're a Deadly Pen and they're there, now you on their stage because they know you don't.
It's like a badge of honor, like you wear it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I got the tattoo on me now.
Where's that? Let me see.
Yeah, man, it's over.
Oh, I got you. I'll show the camera, you feel me? But
I might show. But the thing about it is, man, is that you know, it is a badge of honor, because when you're recognized by your peers as being one of the greatest who done it, it's not about the fans and the people who don't know the struggle or the art or what it takes to do this. When your peers acknowledge you and say, yo, like, I'm a fan of your work. That's what the Deadly Pen is. And ain't about a group or who you clicked in with or how you run. You can do whatever you want to do. But when we acknowledge you as being one of the best and you're given this pen, no matter where you go, in all 50 states, there's somebody who's going to support you.
Can you let people know how they can possibly be a Deadly Pen?
Work. Speak your truth. Share your soul, man. You know, there's a difference between poetry and spoken word, if you ask me. Poetry is the art of it. You know, poetry is the rhyming of the words. But that spoken word is spilling your soul. You know, work. Speak your soul. Do you. And you ain't got to be the best at performance poetry. You ain't got to be the best at whatever it is. Just be the best at doing you and reaching those people. But yeah, a Deadly Pen, man, to be a Deadly Pen, just work and speak your truth and believe it, you know?
I think I'm going to play like the devil advocate on this. I think most people don't feel comfortable to tell a story. You know, that's such a vulnerable place. Like poetry, spoken word, you giving it all, you feel me? So, you know, how can one be comfortable in like letting them know it's okay? You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, that's the difference between those who make it and those who don't. You know, it ain't never a comfortable space to share your soul, unless you're comfortable with who you are. And that's, I'm always going to go back to being comfortable with who you are. You know, you look at a lot of these people who are on these stages, who perform and who are winning, they're doing it because they're giving you the best of them, and they leave it all there. You know, it ain't built for it ain't for everybody. You know, poetry, it's a stage that you could use, but the ones who are really successful at it, the ones who really reach people, are the ones who's leaving it on the stage, wide open. And that's the difference between a Deadly Pen and other poets who don't. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
A Deadly Pen is not scared to leave it on stage and speak your soul, be yourself.
So my thing is, what was your most vulnerable piece? Like, I damn it don't want to get this out, but I know it's gonna help somebody.
It was a piece where I talked about being molested by the females in my family, and why I never understood the concept of sex and love. You know, and it wasn't even so much of just that piece. My brother had got killed that night I was on my way to the poetry venue. I got the call that he had got killed in Colorado Springs, but I knew I had a major show going on and people coming in, and I had to perform either way. And it just so happened to be that piece. So in that moment of being so vulnerable, knowing that, you know, life had changed from my family, and that I had to do this, and I was spilling my soul, you know, that opened it up, because, you know, black men are not so much comfortable talking about, you know, being molested and all that kind of shit there, but to put that piece out there, and then to admit that I have faults because of it, you know, was recognizing my pain and my struggle, but then also at that moment, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what gave you the guts to continue going. Most people be like, man, fuck this shit, this is too many. You know, it was so many excuses you could have used. What gave you the guts to keep going?
It was my only out, man. You know, that's when you find yourself, there ain't no out. You know, so like you spoke about the Tyrone movie, but it's also like the Matrix. It's also, you know, like Get Out. You know, once you find yourself, and once you remove yourself from that sunken place of all excuses and everything that will fail and why I can't and what I can't do, once you remove yourself, you're never comfortable with not being. You know what I mean? There's a reason that you do this now, because there's 1,000 times you fail, and I'm sure you ain't making the money you want to make.
Come on,
you give
man.
up? No, because you know there's a bigger purpose. So, you know, once you find your voice, man, ain't no leaving that. And that's the Matrix. That's the sad part. A lot of people don't want to find it because they know ain't no escaping it once you do.
They say it's success on the other side of fear.
Man, come on now.
So when you finally let go of that piece that was so much vulnerable to you, what was the response to it?
It was a standing ovation, man, but at the same time, I almost didn't see it because I was numb. You know what I mean?
Dang.
It was a standing ovation, and it was a lot of love and a lot of respect, a lot of men just coming to me like, man, I never thought to share that story. And now I realize that you're right. Like, that's why I'm fucked up. That's why. And maybe if I told her, she'll understand. You know what I mean? Like, that kind of thing. And it was like, hey, man, you know, but once again, we had spoke about this off camera. It's about being able to see people vulnerable that gives you the confidence to be vulnerable.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Finding your troopers, that's what I call it,
man.
man, for real. Once you find your troopers, it makes it easier for you to open up, because you know people can relate to it, so it's just not you going through this.
Yeah, and you never know that unless you open your mouth, right?
Yep.
And that's what poetry did for me. I never knew that people was going through and feeling the way that I was feeling until I stood on the stage and said it.
Yep.
Keep in mind, I came from a gangbang culture, so when they was walking up to me, I was bucking up.
Like,
you know,
hold on.
Yeah, what's up? You know, and they like, yo, first of all, calm down. Love that piece, man. I'm going through that. And, you know, and you had to be like, you love my pain? Like, you're excited about what I, and they was like, man, you know, that's my story. Damn, mine too.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, different, man.
People go through all type of stuff, man. It's crazy.
And you never know.
You feel
They
me?
just smile on their face and be broken inside,
Man,
standing
listen,
right next to you.
I got a personal story, you feel me? You know, I never really dealt with the depression thing. Like I say, when I was coming up, I kind of always had a strong mind, just like you, like optimistic, you feel me? But I also had somebody I looked up to, my big brother. You know what I'm saying? This was my dog. When I tell you, I remember nights being hungry. He coming home with food, and you know, cause I'm hungry and broke. My brother, the one, my hero.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was times I called my brother like, man, these older dudes messing with me. Where you at? He come dead of the night, pulling up. You know what I'm saying? And he had went through a heartbreak. You feel me? And that shit changed him like no other. It was one night he was like, hey Monte, how you feel about me being a comedian? I was like, you can do whatever you want in life. You know what I'm saying? In hindsight, I feel like that was some bad advice, because it turned him to a different person. He went to be a comedian, you know, laughing and giggling and stuff, but really he was hurt. You would think he was a happy person, you know what I'm saying? And he was really hurt, you feel me? And
But my spin on that is that if you didn't give him that advice, what else would he have turned to?
I don't know.
And see, and that's where your blessing comes in, because he could have said, how you feel about me robbing these banks?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? How you feel about me becoming a rapist because my heart been broke, so I want to hurt these women the way I feel like I'm hurt. You know, I mean, it could have been 1,000 different things, but what he chose to do was stand on stage and entertain people, whether it was covering up his pain or not. He made somebody else feel better.
I like that. I
bro.
like that was alchemy.
And you
You
gave him
changed
that.
the way I thought about it.
And you gave him that, you know?
Yeah.
But that's that gift in that.
Nah, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. I think it hurts me, because now when I see comedy, I see it differently. Like, them people really be hurt.
Hell yeah.
For real, but they make us laugh. So we like, that shit funny.
Man, some of the most talented people in the world are some of the most depressed hurt, broken. Where do you think that these songs come from? Where do you think these jokes come from? Where do you think these inspirations come from?
People think they playing. They serious.
They dead serious. I mean, think about the love songs and all that depression and shit that they singing about. Imagine what it'll feel like, brother, to all your life struggle to get this money, and you get to the point where you get this money and now you can't even go out in public and be yourself because everybody's always on you.
That can be draining.
Look at DMX.
Man, he was crying out this whole time.
But he started off a crackhead, right? They thought the game would change him. It didn't.
Yep.
You know, look at Eminem. He started off, popping pills and doing that before he got famous. They thought the game would change him.
Do you think it comes down to like we say from this whole episode, be yourself? Like once you get there, just be the person you is.
Be real.
Yeah, you think that'll help?
See what I did there?
Hey, we keep shaking out there.
See what I did there? Be real.
Yeah.
But nah, man, I mean, the thing about it is that no matter what journey you go through, if you go through it authentically you, when it's all said and done, you ain't got nothing to look at regrets about. And it ain't about, just being selfish or being focused just on you. Just be who you are.
Yep.
If you're a man with a heart, don't be scared to show that. If you an asshole and that's who you are, then be that asshole. You'll attract other assholes who move the way that you move, or you'll get the clarity to figure out how to change. But if you're not giving people your authentic self, the bad part about it is nobody knows how to deal with you. And now you got to put on this facade of whatever you done gave these people to be. So now you walking around here, multiple personalities, because you don't even know who you was with this person last.
Facts. And that comes to dating as well. When you first meet a woman,
you meet their representative.
I was gonna say that. You meet their representative. You feel me? You don't really get to see the person until real things start happening.
Real things happen.
You feel me? So I try to be most me as possible.
Yeah.
Like, look, this is I fart right now. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, first of all, that's a lot. but second of all, if you who you are, and she falls in love with you, you never have to worry about her leaving because you know she loves you. If you this representative, then you always got to stick up to this. You got to try to be this. You got to do this. You got to try, because she don't love you. She loves what you presented. That's life. Your friends, you the hardest nigga around the block, but you hate fighting. You scared. You shooting because you don't want to get punched. But then when it gets real, and you don't have their back because you really scared. Now what happens?
You just faking.
Yeah, but see, and that's the problem. It's so easy to fake nowadays.
Yep.
It's hard to be yourself. See, being gangsta ain't doing what everybody else does. Being gangsta is being you.
Yep. I look at being gangster so much differently, you know what I'm saying? Like being gangster is being there for your kid.
Absolutely.
Being
changing your family culture.
Come on, man. Being gangster is learning something so you can teach.
Yeah.
Being gangster is protecting and providing for me.
I understanding the gangsters growing up as gangsters was unstoppable. Right. You couldn't stop a gangster. You find a way around it, what it was going to be, no matter what it was. But when you figure out that the knowledge itself, the building of your own mental wealth and all that is where your gangster is, because once you get you, can't nobody take that from you. That's gangster. Yeah. You can't beat that out of me. You can't steal it from me. You can't, and if you kill me, my legacy will live on.
Yep. Come on, man. That's why I preach knowledge is power so much, you feel me? Because at the end of the day, nobody can take that from you.
Yeah. But knowledge itself, that's limitless power.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's a different topic, because at the end of the day, knowledge itself, I think that comes from a deeper place, because most of us don't even know who our kinfolks is. You know what I'm saying? Because the powers that be, kind of like messed up our culture. Kind of messed. There's a lot of things that.
You try not to go down the rabbit hole.
Oh man,
I see you.
I'm really a deep person. I try to
you could go real long, right?
You feel me? Because I know you got that knowledge as well, but
yeah, man.
Yeah, it goes deep. But back to the surface. So I'm gonna just say it for the culture. You feel me? You very appreciated in this platform. You're not just Visionaries Place, but poetry and your genre, because I can tell you take it very seriously. So like your legacy will live on, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Just for the work you're doing now. So how are you looking to expand your legacy?
So one of the things, man, is that the Deadly Pens will continue to grow. And the Deadly Pens, once again, is an organization of some of the dopest poets in the world who respect other poets and give them their flowers alive. That we acknowledge them as being one of the best, and we support them throughout their journeys with poetry from that point forward once the pen is given. One of the things that the Deadly Pens and myself have done, man, is that we've created this poetry retreat.
Okay.
And the poetry retreat is a week-long event where we do open mics, after parties, and pool parties. Like grown, I mean, but it's crazy because you know the arts community is a little crazy. But we do a whole week of events to celebrate the art and what we do, open mic shows, and all these poets come from around the world to congregate, shake hands, meet each other face to face, because a lot of us seen each other over social media, but meet face to face, build relationships, build bonds, and celebrate and shake hands, kiss babies for a whole week.
Where is it a place?
No. So it's all over. So for that week, it'll be a different event, different spaces for the whole week. So wherever we
different
have it,
states as well.
Yeah. So we started in Denver. We've done one in Houston, and then it's going to be different places. We're going to move around. I got one coming up. I can't really want to tell the people where it's at, Puerto Rico. But the crazy part is that yeah, man. So it moved, and the poetry retreat will continue to become bigger. More Deadly Pens are involved, but it's not even about the Deadly Pens. It's about poetry, the poetry community coming in and everybody celebrating, meeting, shaking hands, and being in that space. It's like the Essence Fest of poetry.
How many have y'all had already?
We've had 3 so far.
How's it going? Like,
oh man, it keeps getting better. It continues to get better. And the one that we're having is going to be in Houston this year, and we got a pool party that holds 3,000 people. I'm bringing out core DJs to do it. Some of the top entertainment, and because you've seen with some of the people I touch, I'm bringing out some of the top people to celebrate this.
Oh yeah, when they say top people, real celebrities.
Yeah, real ones. Yeah, man. So we definitely gonna have that celebration. It'll be here in Houston.
Oh, how can somebody I want to be a part of that? You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
like,
man, get your tickets online. It's on Eventbrite as we speak. We'll cut this out, but it's on Eventbrite as we speak. Yeah, and the thing about it is that we set up the packages so you could be a part of it for the whole week, or you could be a part of it for the weekend.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely pop out.
That sounds like a dope time. Once a year, annual,
once a year. We do it once a year currently. It's getting big, so we may want to start moving it quarterly, but once a year right now is what we're looking at. When we start going international, it might be one in states and then one international. So it'd be.
Come on, man, that sounds dope. You know what I'm saying? We can pop out to Africa.
It's a movement. You'll be surprised how many people are in tune with the art of spoken word and poetry.
Yeah, that's one thing I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? When I moved out here, I didn't even realize how big it is.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
Yeah.
You feel me?
Definitely in Houston. I mean, the culture of poetry in Houston is probably one of the largest, including Atlanta and New York. Like, in Houston, there's a poetry venue every night and every day. But just like everything else, when you're looking at so much being everywhere, it's about the quality of it now. And being somebody who's done this for 24 years or whatever it is, it's not even about me just having a stage to be seen. I don't care about that. My thing is I want to be able to present the art for those who really have a passion for it. Not those who just want to be seen, not those who want to be in front of a crowd. I'm talking about those who really have a passion for the art, the creativity, the therapy of it. Like, that's what the stage is that I'll present. And as long as I got breath in my lungs, I will continue to present a stage for that. And I got venues now that I do. And anywhere that I'm at, if a Deadly Pen shows up there on the mic, of course. If you are a prolific poet, if you're passionate about what you do, if you believe in your art, you on my mic. And that's what it is, man. And that's my dedication to the art. I've done it for 24 years, as longest relationship I've ever had.
Is that the main thing you want to get out when you're doing this poetry thing? Like, is it, what I'm trying to say, is it the main message? What is the main message?
I mean, the main message, man, is that there's healing in your voice. But at the same time, my message is that I'll always present a stage for it. My message is that there'll always be a place for it, as long as I have it.
Yep.
That it ain't the show for me. It's the art.
Yep. So y'all hear that?
Yeah.
If you going through something, get to writing down on your notebook, come up with a poem, and hit this guy up. You know what I'm saying? You could be a Deadly Pen, walk around with that badge. You feel me?
Hey, it ain't impossible, because there's a lot of Deadly Pens out there, man. And there's a lot of poets that we have yet to really reach out to who are amazing at their work and can't wait to open up these doors for them.
Yeah.
Because with you traveling and moving around, imagine what it looks like you being a Deadly Pen and you could go anywhere
and get noticed
and do this with someone else with a whole nother story and help expand your background and everything you need. Come on, man, I got you.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all heard it first.
I got a couple more questions. You know
Yes,
what I'm
sir.
saying? You've been in the game for how long again?
24 years.
24 years. You know, that's crazy. First of all, how's it changed since you?
Oh, absolutely.
In what way?
So, man, when I first started doing poetry, it was the Afrocentric Black Love, Queen Ashun, Third Eye of the Sun. My Nile River runs through your Egyptian.
Yeah, deep.
Yeah, that's all it was. And that was the Love Jones era, and everybody was, yeah, baby, I love you. Which I came into the poetry game, a gang member. Like,
That's different, first of all.
fuck you, I want my money back. That was like my poems. And everybody was like, whoa. You know what I'm saying? Like, hold up, bro, that's not poetry. I was like, yeah, it is. You know what I mean? They say it's poetry, it's poetry. So, it went from being real Afrocentric only. It's like rap. Keep in mind when, X-Clan and Black, who was it, BDP and Public Enemy Fight the Power, that's where the poetry was.
Yeah.
It followed the rap culture a little bit, right?
Yeah.
And then when it moved on, I came into the game and I wasn't necessarily doing revolutionary poetry. I was doing real life poetry because that's all I knew. That's what I was going through. And don't get me wrong, I wasn't gangsta. I wasn't shooting nobody in my poetry, but I definitely would, throw disclaimers that I might whoop your ass if I needed to. But that's what poetry was for me. And then after a while, it became mainstream because that's when deaf poetry came out. And then you had a lot of people who just wanted to be on stage because it was cool to do. So it was like comedy, but it was yet poetry. So you had people who got on there who didn't take it serious and they would just get on the stage, and that changed my job to trying to figure out how to navigate keeping the real artists and those who were really passionate about it from those who just wanted to be on the mic and be seen. So then it went through that, and then it went through the mumble rap phase.
Poetry had a mumble rap. That is crazy.
It's still kind of in it.
That is crazy. So what that look like?
It looks like this is not going to be great for everybody, but it looks like Lil Wayne raps. Sounds good with no substance.
I ain't gonna lie, I love Lil Wayne. You can't come at my boy like that.
And he sounds great. He got bars, but what is he talking about?
He said, real G's moving silence like lasagna. It's hard, nigga. It's hard.
Is it?
Yeah, real.
Is it though?
It's Lil Wayne. It's alright. It's Lil Wayne. He can do that.
Just for the record, real G's move in silence like lasagna. Yeah, that was a bar.
You gotta stick to the code, you feel me?
That was a bar. Not so much. Not the worst one ever. But yeah, no, man. That's what it sounds like. You have a lot of people who lyrically talented, who should have been rappers, but see that they get more pull in poetry because of whatever, maybe be the women that they want us to get in front of, or a different stage, or maybe the rap game's too saturated. So they're great at punchlines. They just have no content. They have no meaning. They have no purpose. They have no structure behind it. There's no message behind what they're trying to preach. And I'm not saying you have to have a message. I'm just saying that poetry is not rap. Rap is not poetry. And both people, R&B rapping, it's different. The structure of it is different. And so we had mumble poetry.
So I'm gonna disagree a little bit, just because when I do poetry, I like to do it in a rap way. I don't like the garden, the green, and I don't like that shit.
Who said that was poetry?
I don't know. That's what I see. You feel me? I just like to rap with it, and I make it come off poetic. You feel me? That's how I am. So maybe I'm a mumble poet, mumble rap poet.
Or maybe you're a rapper who wants to be a poet, or a poet who likes to be a rapper. I don't know.
I think it's all in the same though, for real. It's lyrics to me.
Yeah, and that's where you're wrong. See, poetry is the words, putting words together that rhyme in a cadence and things of that nature. Rap is putting words together in a cadence. But see, the thing is that what we do with poetry, a rapper couldn't do over a beat. And spilling your soul in rap has always been shunned until damn near Drake. You know what I'm saying? So the emotional, the transparency, the feelings, the fact that your emotions doesn't have a cadence, your thought process doesn't have a rhythm.
I see what you're saying.
It doesn't need one. It can be, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. And ain't nothing wrong. I mean, there are some rappers who are really dope poets. Wale.
J. Cole.
J. Cole.
You feel me? Yeah.
Tupac.
Yeah.
When you think about it, man, T.I.'s a cold poet. Cold. So when you think about Andre 3000, shit, we could go on and on.
That's what I'm saying, and that's who I get the game from. So I'm gonna just show you one of my poems later. You feel me? You're gonna be like, yeah, I get you.
I'm not saying that rap you know, rappers can't be poets. I'm not saying poets can't be rappers. I'm just saying that not rap in general is not poetry. Poetry is not rap. That's why they have two different names. Otherwise, we'll call them the same. Spoken word is different than all of it. But yeah, no, man. You know, back to what I was saying, there was a mumble poetry era, and I think that just now we're kind of getting back to the Kendrick Lamar, the J. Cole session of poetry, where it's like you could still be hella talented with your bars, but say something, have substance,
Have
move
that
a crowd,
message.
move that, you know.
Yeah.
You know, incite a message. Yeah. So.
Got you. Yeah. This has been a dope episode.
Absolutely, bro.
No cap. I really know who you are now.
Yeah,
You feel me? So hopefully that reflected in the camera video as well. And I feel like the main message today was be yourself.
Yeah, man.
That's the best way to be. You feel me? And we at Visionaries Place. I like to say, come as you are.
Man.
And you did exactly that. You feel me? Appreciate you so much.
Absolutely.
You feel me? Is there anything, how can somebody find you? You know what I'm saying? Is that being following you from Instagram, following you with Instagram, the daily pins, like, shout yourself out, you feel me?
So what it is CO_reality on Instagram, Greg Delaney on Facebook, because I ain't got no warrants, I can give my real name. But other than that, man, the Deadly Pens, look out for everyone who holds that title, the Deadly Pens. And just amazing art and talent. And matter of fact, what I'm gonna say is, man, follow the echo of voices, and that's where you're gonna find me. That was poetic.
I hear you. Snap, snap, snap. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But yeah, as y'all can see, we're at the Visionaries Place. It's been another dope episode. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Can you let them know to like, comment, and subscribe?
Man, like, comment, and then, matter of fact, I think they should subscribe, then like and comment.
Come on, man.
It don't matter what order they do it in.
Yeah. I got the dopest people up here. This the dopest platform. Shout out to y'all. We tapping out.